everybody, and welcome to another video. If you're new here, you're very welcome. If you'd like to leave a comment, I'd love to hear what you have to say, and please like and subscribe. That would be great to have you on board. So today's video, I'm just going to do a little tour of the site. It's really windy here. We're forecast gales later, 80 miles an hour, so I won't be staying down here for long, I don't think. And also we've had a bit of a tragedy this morning. It's about half past 12, and as you all know from my last video, we normally have a bacon butty about this time, and we've come down this morning and we've forgotten the bacon, so that's not going to be happening. So I'll just give you a little quick tour of the site and then we'll be heading home. Okay, so here's the lane down to the allotment, from the road down into the allotments, and the plots start there. These first two plots, husband and wife have them, and they keep them really, they're down here quite a lot, and they keep them really tidy, and they get some good produce. And we carry on down the lane, and it extends down there to where that fence is down the bottom. We carry on down the lane, and there's allotments on this side. Some of these plots are whole plots, and some of them have been divided into half. The waiting lists are so long at the moment. I think we've got about 80 on this site alone, and over 1,000 across the whole of Wirral. This is a lovely plot. The lady that's got this, hope she doesn't mind me saying it, I'm sure she won't, but she'll be 80 this year, and it's absolutely immaculate hair plot, and she gets absolutely amazing crops. And that's a greenhouse where she grows her tomatoes, and her tomatoes are absolutely amazing. She has bumper crops every year. I think she starts them off about this time of year, and she nurtures them at home until they're ready to go in the greenhouse. And moving on, this plot belongs to a husband and wife, and this is the gentleman I get my manure from. They've got 3 horses, so he's always got plenty of manure to give away. And then this next plot here is divided into 2. So looking up, it goes from here up to where that pallet is, just in front of the greenhouse, and then from the greenhouse up to the fence. And this plot, unfortunately, it's a bit of a mess. This is half a plot. The other half isn't much better either, but they're owned by 2 separate gentlemen. And this is the car park, which is nice and big, can fit plenty of cars on here. And then this is looking up the path towards my allotment. And up we go. And just coming up on the left here, this is Al's plot, plot number 7. And then this is the other half of that plot on the corner. This plot is owned by a husband and wife team, and they do well. They have good crops. They grow a lot of runner beans, rows and rows of runner beans. And then she's got that many, she gives them away to everybody. And that's the other half of their plot, owned by somebody else. And then this here is a whole plot. And the gentleman on this plot grows absolutely enormous pumpkins. Don't know what he does with them. And then these are whole plots going right down to the fence there. So they're quite large, really. And then we're coming up to the best plot on the site, which is mine. Not really. There it is, right down to the fence. The greenhouse porch has taken a bit of battering in the wind. Have to sort that out probably in the spring. Then moving down. This plot here is owned by a husband and wife team. They've got it all split up into beds mostly. And that's another entrance to Al's plot. So walking back down to the car park. We're just approaching the wooded area now. As you can see, we have plenty of chippings. And our wood store that we're lucky enough to have a contact who brings wood down. And we just leave it there. People can help themselves too. But we had a bit of a backlog. So a few of the gentlemen have decided to build a shed. And there's the base ready to go. And there's some manure that we left. We had a big truckload delivered, and it was quite high, but it's all rotted down now, and it's reduced to about half. So hopefully in the spring that'll be lovely and rotted down. Little pile of logs there for the creatures. And then the wooded area. Unfortunately, we do have people on the site who seem to dump their rubbish in the woods, which is a shame. And there's a little area here just in front of this tree. There's a notice board with things that are going on, and a little area where we can leave things that we no longer want but maybe of use to somebody else. And if they're there for more than a week, then that person has to remove them, because it's assumed nobody wants them. And here's a little area where we have our communal events. Oh, we have some more wood. Where we have our communal events, and in the corner is where the shed's going to go. It's a nice little area to sit out with a cup of tea and have a chat in the nice weather. And when the weather's not so nice, we have our cups of tea in the garage. And moving on down to the bottom half of the plot. I don't come down to this area very often. Don't really have reason to. But it's nice to see what other people are doing. It all looks a bit bleak and forlorn this time of year. There's not many people down. Al and I are the only ones down today. Bit of a wood store there. And this is a cooking apple tree. It always has bumper crops every year. Looking down towards the end of the plot site. That plot is in 2 halves. And then this one I think is a whole plot. And this one's divided up into 2 halves. You can see the fence going across. And then this plot, the gentleman has just taken over the bottom half, which is very overgrown. So we got a digger and had the top layer scraped off. And his plot has now been left like that. I don't really see the point of that, because surely the top layer is the best bit where, you know, you grow your crops. I don't know. To each his own, I suppose. Then this plot is a whole plot owned by a husband and wife team. Unfortunately, it does get a bit waterlogged, but they seem to do quite well here. Got a few crops overwintering under that fleece. There's a nice octagonal greenhouse there. Don't know how much you could grow in there with the shape of it. I think you'd be a bit limited. And the allotments stretch down right down to that fence you can see there. And they're moving back up the path. That's 2 halves. That's Alfie barking. And then we'll have a little wander down this path. We have a gentleman on here who's got a petrol mower, and he keeps the paths down here trimmed during the summer months. And the gentleman who has the plot next to me, he keeps the path leading up to our allotments cut. He mows them, I think, about once a fortnight. It's quite a nice tidy plot. The gentleman on the right has just taken on this plot in the last couple of weeks, so it's looking a bit neglected at the moment. Hopefully in the spring he'll get going. Although I do think this is a good time of year to get things ready, so that when the spring comes, you're ready to go. I'm walking back down. The lady that has this plot has just had a baby, so I don't think she'll be coming down for a while. Just a little garden. There's some heathers growing. I'm glad to see that polytunnel's been ratcheted down, because if we get these winds that were forecast, won't be much left of that, I don't think. Nice little seating area, somewhere to sit in the summer when you want a little rest and a cup of tea. This gentleman, husband and wife who've got this plot here, they're lucky enough to, where that yellow bin, as you can see in the distance, there's a little gate there, and that gate leads into their back garden. I've got this plot here. Unfortunately, this gentleman here has had a stroke, so has not been able to come down in the last few months. But hopefully he'll recover well enough to start coming down again pretty soon. Got a few folks on the site who've been looking after his plot for him. And we get this manure delivered in these black bags, so they've put a few bags on there, so that when he gets going, he's got some manure and he hasn't been left out. So we have like a really good community spirit down here. Everybody looks out for each other and looks out for the site in general, and we're all a very friendly bunch. And twice a year we have a tidy up day, and we come down, and a crowd of us come down and we tidy the site, do a bit of maintenance, and then we have usually scouse or something in the winter, or something like that, burgers and plenty of cups of tea. There are the trees in the wooded area, and these trees here actually belong, there's a cemetery on the other side of the fence there, and these trees actually belong to the cemetery. So the church owns them, and we had a meeting a few weeks ago now because a couple of these big poplar trees have died and they need cutting down really, unfortunately. And the ones that are left, they need pruning and maintaining so that they're safe. We've had a few incidences where we've been, I think twice, where we've come down and one of them has been blown over and gone right across the path. Nobody's had access for a while until that's been sorted out. It is nice to see the trees. I do love trees, but they do need maintaining. That lovely black sky. So I think that just about concludes the tour of the site. I hope you've enjoyed it. Just give you a little overview. And thanks again for stopping by and watching. Bye for now. See you all on the next one.